Hello, welcome to Luigi's Gaming Lounge. It's Luigi 8 Mario, and tonight we are recording episode 49. I'm joined this evening by Out of Time Ecto1, aka
Andy, good evening.
Good evenings. Just me and you this evening, Andy.
Indeed.
First one.
Quality over quantity.
Oh, don't let the guys hear you say that. My voice probably sounds a bit weird today, guys. Being a little bit under the weather, so I do apologise for the horrible croakiness. But with us approaching our 50th episode, and also we have been on air, so to speak, since the 5th of April last year, so it's been just over a year. I thought what we could do this episode is take a look back at some of the episodes from the past year, and see if there's any that really stick out to us, and just reminisce over, what we enjoyed, what we didn't enjoy, maybe even some predictions we had about some games or whatnot, and go from there. Now, Andy, for me, one of the big things that I think about when I look back is we obviously have touched on, this is prior to it releasing, obviously, Battlefield 2042. Now, that was one of the games that I was so hyped for, and as we all know, it's just really not lived up to it. I mean, it was only this last week Steam released some figures, I believe, that through Steam it had less than 1,000 players online. Now,
I mean, it is a true crash and burn story, isn't it? I mean, I remember all of us guys bigging it up. Battlefield over Call of Duty. We
yeah,
were saying like Call of Duty, back in Modern Warfare 2, it's great, but nowadays it's shit.
yeah,
And to be fair, the new Call of Duty is not setting the world alight, but
yeah,
my God, it's still staying afloat. The new
yeah,
Battlefield, I don't know what. To be fair, I haven't played it, but just on the feedback, the reviews, and the whole sort of aura around it alone is enough for me to never touch it with a barge pole. Whatever they have done, they have royally destroyed that franchise.
yeah,
Um, I'm sort of intrigued as to what is so bad about it. I do know one of the sort of negatives we put on, or we discussed before, was it was predominantly online only, wasn't it?
yeah.
They were focusing on that online side with no single player campaign.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
you think, that putting all your eggs in one basket, yes, it works for like a Call of Duty Warzone, but in Battlefield, like you say, if you've just read the figures of Steam and there's less than 1,000 players
yeah,
and it's online only, you're digging yourself an early grave.
yeah.
Um, and some of the prices you can pick it up at now, it's just ridiculous. I purely think it's damage limitation now, and I imagine some heads are going to roll, and some people probably are out of work as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Touching on, obviously, you mentioned about Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty, I think it's recently ended, but they had around about a 2 week period, beginning of April, where you could download a trial of the online Call of Duty Vanguard, which I did download, and I played. And Commando Para, Tony, he played with me once or twice as well. And I have to say, I tried the beta of Battlefield 2042. I've tried, obviously, the online Call of Duty Vanguard. And me and even Tony agrees, Call of Duty Vanguard online, it was brilliant. And let me tell you something, I'm shocked at that I'm saying that, because for me, I feel like Call of Duty really did lose its way. But they seem, especially anyway for the online side of things, they seem to have really pulled that back, and it was actually just really fun to play. And Battlefield, if I had to compare the two, Battlefield gets left in the dust. And I can't believe that sentence has come out of my mouth, to be honest.
That's the thing, though. Call of Duty doesn't even have to be excellent; it can just be average,
Yeah,
and it looks beautiful next to Battlefield 2042. So
yeah,
Battlefield 2042 are just handing this battle on a plate to Call of Duty.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, like you said, to earn back people's trust, Battlefield are going to have to do something absolutely, I mean, the Battlefield community for years now have been wanting a Bad Company free. That's obviously one of that's like their story mode as such, like the comedy side of things. Brilliant games, the first and second one, Bad Company. If they can do something like that and pull people back in, but I don't know. I don't know what it would take for me to go back and try, because it's been out for how long now, and it's still a buggy mess. It's still not right. I mean, it came out, I want to say it was either September, October, I believe. And, we're in April now. And it just seems absolutely crazy that it's just not almost at being perfect. But hey.
Well, I did read an article a few days ago about the Battlefield 2042.
Yeah.
And it was saying something like EA have a plan. But EA's plan is to try and get a new game out as soon as possible.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's like, if this is EA's direction, then that is how EA ruins franchises. EA is a money-making machine.
Yes.
They are purely just the publisher. They're not the developer, and they throw the cash and just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And how many franchises of EA? Look at FIFA, for example. It used to be the football game, and now it's like, Jesus, are you kidding me? You're ruining this franchise.
Yeah.
And if their sort of take on this is, okay, let's get another game out, rather than hold their hands up and say, you know what, we messed up on this, and maybe go back to the drawing board, try and do some patches, listen to the community, etc., etc. I suppose a bit like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, when it first released, was shocking. However, they went back to the drawing board, they listened to people. It took them a good few years, but No Man's Sky is actually really highly regarded now, and I think it's even won some awards. So they took that basis, they had it in their heart, and they knew in their mind what they were trying to achieve. Yes, they didn't deliver first time. Whereas I don't think that passion. Okay, DICE, for example, the developers, they might be passionate, but at the end of the day, EA are bankrolling it. EA are funding this. If what EA say goes, and if that's the sort of approach, it's an insider joke within the community. Like, you sell your soul to Satan if you bloody sign it with the likes of EA and stuff, because it is just rinse and repeat. But yeah, a lot of trust would have been lost. And obviously us in the lounge have to sort of hold our hands up to the listeners and say we sort of bet on the wrong colour that time, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it, because Battlefield Once Upon a Time was, a fantastic franchise. And with this one game, they seem to have just managed to absolutely destroy it. But yeah, it's sad. But anyway, I mean, this isn't a Call of Duty and Battlefield episode. This is a look back. So yeah,
this is us showing our integrity in Luigi's Gaming Lounge. We hold our hands up when we fuck up.
Yes, we do, exactly. But yeah, thinking back to the first episode that we did, Andy, called Bloody Lawnmower.
The first episode still haunts my dreams.
Yes.
About Lawnmower Simulator.
Yeah.
I go at night still hearing.
Now, just for anybody listening, whether or not you've listened to the first episode or not, if you'd like to just take a sneak peek of what that episode's about, if you find Luigi's Gaming Lounge on YouTube, you will see I did actually put up a trailer, just a 2-3 minute trailer for that first episode, and it will give you an idea. It's got lawnmowers in there, it's got Tony flushing the toilet after he's done his business. And,
pretty sure it's even got cunnilingus and a goat licking, isn't it?
That's right, yeah, it's got cunnilingus in there. So yeah, go check out that trailer and find Luigi's Gaming Lounge on YouTube. But no, that very first episode, I really... Obviously, I think maybe all of us were a little nervous. I know I was extremely nervous, and the thing for me, the podcast itself, as the time's gone on, I feel like it's, you know, us ourselves, we've explained it as being, or described it, should I say, as being, you know, a bit like when you go up to the pub and meet your mates and whatnot. Whereas with this, yes, we're at home, but it is a bit like that. You know, you're meeting in a virtual, you know, chat space, and we discuss a topic that we all, you know, love and enjoy. And I know it's done the world of good for me, and Tony has said the same, and I'm sure you guys all feel the same. You know, it is nice to get on and do something different. But yeah, that's what I mean. For me, it's just been a great thing in my life over the last year, and I just hope it continues for many more years. But for you, Andy, I mean, you know, looking back to when we started this, how do you feel in regards to? I mean, I know you seem like quite a fairly confident person usually. Anyway, do you feel you've melted into this podcast quite well?
Like I say, I am a confident individual. I don't sort of suffer from stage fright. But I like to see other people succeed. So it's been an absolute pleasure, you know, watching yourself grow as an individual, watching a team come together, watching guests come on board the past X amount of episodes, and watching the lounge go from strength to strength over the past year. You know, it's testament to the tenacity of the team and the bond of the team, and ultimately it's a bunch of friends getting together to
Yeah,
talk games. But I like to think, and I'm sure our viewers agree, you can feel the genuine passion and the genuine content
yeah,
that's present. We're not reading from a script. We, stumble our words sometimes. We might say the inappropriate things sometimes, but it's from the heart.
yeah,
Um, and I think, again, that speaks volumes. Like, if we were a developer, we would be the complete opposite of EA. We're not a rinse and repeat. We're not, chasing the money.
that's
We
right.
are as we are. You like us or you hate us. And I do like to think the majority will like us. Generally we haven't done anything to offend too many minorities, or at
Yeah,
least I hope not. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure sort of seeing it go from strength to strength over the past year. Um, and to keep something going, I think it was yourself who, I don't know whether you mentioned it on one of the episodes or it was outside of the lounge, but you were saying about the average podcast only lasts X amount of episodes,
yes,
and you surpassed it, quite a long time ago. We surpassed it, should I say?
yeah,
And again, that's such a great success. So yeah, it has been a real sort of pleasure. Um, and touching on the nerves thing, yes, you were really nervous that first episode,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, your game show, so to speak, you were the host, you were the compere. There was a lot more riding up for you for that first episode and second episode and third episode. But again, you can see how you've learned and adapted and took on board, everything, and you've really rolled with it, made it your own, and you're a fantastic host now. And again, I like to think that the listeners, respond really well to you.
Ah, those words are absolutely lovely, Andy. Thank you so much.
You can pay me later.
Yeah, yeah. I'll sort you out later. Don't worry.
Send me a voice.
Brilliant. No, I really do appreciate your kind words, though, Andy. It means a lot. And anyway, moving on, because I'm gonna cry. I've got tears in my eyes. Let's move on. I'm just looking at again previous episodes, and one game that's sticking out to me is where's it gone? Let's go. Where is it? The Tom Clancy. That's it. The Rainbow Six Extraction. We've not tried that out yet as a team.
I don't think any of us have. I haven't
No,
even played it single player.
no. I mean, this is the thing. People listening, right? Ourselves here at Luigi's Gaming Lounge. Obviously, we all love games, okay, but unfortunately, we're not these teenage boys that have nothing to do and can sit in our rooms playing games all day. We have families, we have other commitments, employment, etc.,
Any
etc.
youngsters listening, when your parents say stop playing games, ignore them because it's the only time you'll get to play those damn things.
Yeah,
When you reach 18 and start having to earn money and you have responsibilities, you can kiss gaming goodbye.
exactly. So yeah, get all that gaming in as much as you can. But no, we we do try our best to actually get on and game together. But obviously, as you can imagine, what is there? There's five of us, isn't there? So have I got that right? Yes, five of us. God, my maths was coming into play then. So as you can imagine, to get all of us on at the same time can be very difficult in adult life. Again, if we was 14, 15 years old, it wouldn't be so bad. But sometimes we do get on, but we don't get enough time. And it's, we've been playing through Back for Blood, and we still haven't finished it yet. And Outriders still haven't finished it yet. But I think the point I'm trying to make is the passion is still there. We try our best to make time to play these games, to play these new games.
We're going to be those 70-year-old gamers when we retire.
Yeah.
And the kids are grown up. We're just going to be like, the wives can fend for themselves. And we're just going to be some old guys gaming.
Yeah, we will be like, right, we've got plenty of time now, and we go back and revisit games from like 40 years ago.
Yeah. We've still got the save files, the joy of digital now.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's actually quite scary to think, like in 30, 40 years' time, what gaming will look like. But I think that's a whole nother episode on its own, isn't it, to be honest?
We'll be talking about retro games, what we're playing now.
Yes, exactly.
Or even worse, I mean, to be fair, when we refer to retro, we're probably talking, 20, maybe 30 years ago tops.
Yeah.
So yeah, you look where we've jumped in 30 years and add another 30 to that. That's going to be us retiring. It's like, wow, that's like a whole other gaming generation ahead of us.
Yeah, it is crazy to think what the future holds for, well, just for entertainment in general.
We'll be plugging ourselves into the Matrix, won't we?
Yeah, do you know that I think it is going to get to that point at some point. Where you could almost lose yourself in this virtual reality, but yeah, I mean, I think we're a way off yet, but I think we will see it in our lifetime. But yeah, again, looking back on all these episodes, I mean, is there anything from any particular episodes that you? I know, obviously, there's quite a few there, Andy, but. Is there anything that sticks out for you that we spoke about, or any games in particular that maybe we've not tried yet, or you haven't tried yet?
I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. I actually don't listen to the podcast back.
No.
Unfortunately, I'm not one of the listeners. I suppose if I was a musician or an actor as well, I wouldn't watch my own films or listen to my own music.
Yeah.
So I can't sort of give a 100% answer to that. However, again, if I'm truthful, what comes to my mind is the word simulators, the amount of times simulators has come up across the past year.
Yeah.
Whether it's genuine, we've touched on, like the lawnmower simulator, but there was then the farming simulator, and I think there was a coach driving or a train driving.
Yeah.
There was all these genuine simulator games. So when we first said it in jest in all that way back in episode 1, if you look at all the genuine simulator games that have been released since then, like the job simulator and things like that, I think we were sort of, truth is often spoken in jest, and I think we're a bit of ahead of the game without even knowing it. So I think there is this weird cult following to simulators, but also I've loved the humour that's been attached to the simulator. It's kept that underlying vein going through all the episodes, and it's allowed that little anchor point to always get that laugh and that giggle.
Yes.
And on the opposite side as well, I've also really enjoyed the mental health vein running through the past year and all the episodes.
Yeah.
So whether it's sort of Tony going quite in depth with sort of his backstories and experiences, or whether it's when we've discussed sort of mental health and the impact it has on gaming, both negative and positively, or us guys chatting about how it's helping the lounge's own mental health in terms of being able to socialise with your friends, and given the busy world we're in, you can't just sit on a sofa with your mates anymore, but it keeps you connected. I've quite enjoyed that vein that's sort of been consistent throughout it all as well.
Yeah, no. definitely agree with you there. I think any form of entertainment, obviously ours and our subject being gaming, any form of entertainment is very important, I think, for mental health. If you enjoy something and you're not able to do that thing that you enjoy, it will affect your mental health. So, I mean, again, it's a very, very important subject. Something that, throughout the time of Luigi's Gaming Lounge, we have touched on, like you said, a few times, and we will continue to touch on in future episodes as well. We
I
did.
think it's good for if people do listen. Sorry to interrupt. If
Yes,
people
all right.
do listen to us as well, we're not preaching. We're not saying this is right, this is wrong. We're actually talking from experience. We're
Yes, yeah.
talking from the heart. So I do like to think if anyone who does listen feels like they can sort of relate to it, they're not feeling like they're being judged or not feeling like they're being dictated to.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping again that some good, even if it's one listener out there, I like to think
Mm-hmm.
that some good has come of the content that we sort of share and discuss. And I did forget one other thing on a positive. The introduction of Trash or Stash, I think was a genius move. I think that's a fantastic segment.
Yeah.
It's a great way of showing individuality um, and sort of giving each of us loungers our own gaming identity.
Yes.
Because up until that point, we're all sharing and discussing the same topic, whereas now listeners can actually, for example, Barnaby often categorizes his choices. They often follow a trend or follow a
Yep.
pattern. Um, and it allows all of us to showcase, like Sam being the Nintendo boy and things like that. It allows us all to showcase our individuality and our own, personal favorites. And I think, like I say, that gives a bit more. People can sort of envisage who we are as people and individuals more as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think you're right there. As you said, with doing the trash or stash segment, I think that's the part where the listeners, they can really sort of differentiate between what each of us enjoy, we don't enjoy.
Especially with your choices.
Exactly. then
And again,
that,
I've loved that. I've loved the underlying vein of your choices,
yeah.
getting guaranteed laughs every week.
Oh, well, there you go. So I'll bring some good. But just sort of rounding off the talk about mental health there. As Andy said, it's something that we don't judge, etc. And just if listeners don't already know and haven't listened to the mental health episode, myself, I've been in and out of seeing different people since I was the age of 11 years old, so I have a lot of sort of first hand experience. So and I know everyone experiences it differently. But if you'd like to go and take a listen to that episode, you'll find that will be episode 24, which is mental health and video games. So yeah, that's episode 24. Go give it a listen and see what you think about it. And as I said, we will touch on it throughout throughout the future episodes as well, here and there. But other than that, we'll move on from the mental health chat. But one title that I'm looking forward to see, Andy, is, and I don't know if I can't remember if you've actually played one previously, is the Saints Row reboot. It's got me intrigued. Did you play any of the previous Saints Rows?
I have played a Saints Row. I played one on
You didn't like it, I believe. Is that right?
on the Xbox 360. I believe it had a yellow goldy cover to it.
Yeah, so I think that was probably the first one. If I'm,
Let's have a quick Google and see what it was.
so I'm just looking
Yeah, it was
episode,
the very first one. Yeah, very first one. Saints Row.
and you didn't like it, did you?
No, tell a lie. It was Saints Row 2.
Oh, okay.
Saints Row 2. It wasn't. I didn't like it. It was a mixed bag for me. I remember playing it and playing it a fair bit. And I don't remember not enjoying it.
Okay.
but I also don't remember it gripping me and making me want to play more.
Right.
So from what I can remember, I think it was a game where I probably picked it up pre-owned. I probably picked it up on a bargain deal. I probably stuck it in, enjoyed it, pratted around, but the story didn't grip me.
Okay.
It wasn't making me want more. So it wasn't a game that I feel like I can give 100% sort of critique on.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't complete it or even get remotely close to completion, but I do remember having a bit of fun, like the customization, the car customization, the characters, things like that, going around doing things.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's but then to be fair, it's the same as GTA. I enjoy GTA, but I've actually never completed any of the recent GTAs.
I can't
Um,
believe that.
I know, and it's on my like is it five we're on GTA 5?
Yeah.
Um, I've got it across a couple of platforms, and to be fair, I'll probably get it again when it's released on the Series X.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still not to play through still not played through the story. Whereas I used to love the originals. But all I can put it down to is again, it's time. But there has been games I have done completion during that time. So, but yeah, so Saints Row, I have nothing negative to say. Um, but I don't feel like I can sing its praises massively either.
No, that's fair enough.
I'm on
It's
the
just,
fence with it.
yeah. I mean, it's just obviously. I was just looking over, seeing again, seeing the past episodes, and we did one. We touched on Saints Row reboot. That was episode 20, which was actually in September. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with that, and because it's always been known as being like a really silly, over the top sort of game, and I just hope they don't just go too over the top with it. But I say that, but I've not played number 3, and I believe that was quite a
I think
bit
number three was
OTT.
very. I think it was very well received, though, wasn't it? Number
It
three.
was, it was, yeah. But I think for me personally, and my taste, what I was looking for, even though I enjoyed the hell out of the first and second one, the third one just didn't, it didn't grip me in terms of to the point where I didn't even entertain purchasing it. So yeah, I totally skipped it. But yes, what? Sorry, I'm just thinking there was something I was going to. That's what I was going to say as well. Um, Now, I think is it the 28th, I think. Um, the Nintendo Switch is going to be getting the Switch Sports game, which I've actually pre-ordered and I'm so excited for. Hence why, I mean, I never pre-order games, like literally once in a blue moon. I mean, the only games for me that I can see myself pre-ordering is like when Skate 4 drops. I think that's going to have to be a pre-order. Obviously, we had on the Wii the Wii Sports and then Wii Sports Resort. Now, both of those games are absolutely fantastic. To play with family and play with friends. Now, as we touched on previous episode, the Nintendo Switch Sports game that's coming out at the end of the month, you can play online now, so you can play against people online. So I just think it adds, being able to play people online just adds that extra bit. I'm a little bit disappointed that we're not seeing boxing in there as a sport, because I found the boxing really entertaining. I thought that would be quite good for for an online sort of a game within it. But yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I know you don't really play the Switch very much, but are you a fan of those sort of first party games like that at all, Andy?
Do you say that? I've actually recently, over the past couple of weeks, had an overhaul of my Switch games.
Okay.
Um, so got rid of some that just don't belong in a collection.
Yeah.
Um, brought a couple on digital, sold the physical, and got a couple of new ones. So it was on the back of, I forget which episode, but I picked up Mario Party on the Switch,
Okay.
and I remember getting the missus and the kids down to play it, and but this isn't great. Like, yeah, I'd never actually played a Mario Party game before, so
Right.
I'd heard all these great things, and I was like, I feel bad like recommending this, and it took like an hour and a half, and it was just meh. And
Yeah.
after speaking with Sam on an episode, he was like, one of his, I think it was one of his stash games was Mario Party, but it was like, oh, Mario Party All Stars or whatever it was, or Superstars, not
Superstars,
the
I think.
original Mario Party.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let me have a look. And I had a look, and it seems like the original Mario Party is a Marmite, love it or hate it, because it did something different to the dice, the length of the game's longer, all this sort of thing. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe I'm in the Marmite camp. So I actually sold that, and I've brought Mario Party All Stars or Superstars, and we played that for the first time a couple of weeks ago. Plays much better. We all had a great time. So I was like, brilliant. Now we've got that game.
Yeah.
Um, so I do have a nice little Switch collection of all the Nintendo exclusive IP. So like your Smash Brothers, your Mario Party, your Super Mario, your Mario Kart, all of those things that you genuinely can't get anywhere else, and not many other companies can even get close to that sort of quality.
Yeah.
So that being said, I am 99% certain I will too be picking up Switch Sports.
Oh, does that
For the
mean me and you can play against each other, Andy? Online?
Possibly. Although I've never played any Switch Online because that infrastructure is god awful.
Yeah, it
But
is pretty diabolical.
but if it can be done, I am happy to do it. But no, Switch Sports, or sorry, should I say Wii Sports and Wii Sports, and those things, I've always really, really rated. I had the original Nintendo Wii. It was very, um, it was completely different, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
really breaking the mold when it came out with the motion controllers, and it enabled my mum. Okay, she wasn't as old then as she is now, but she was still, my mum's an older parent. It enabled her to game with me,
Yeah.
and to see that, I don't think you can put a price on that. So
Yeah.
I'm now seeing it as, again, my mum's 74 now. She struggles sometimes to, change the source on a TV, or the
Yeah.
AV input and that. Um, Whereas just a physical controller in your hand, she can do.
Yeah.
And I can see this as a good opportunity to again get her playing with her grandkids, with me, with her daughter-in-law. We can all have a real nice family session around the screen,
Yeah.
and bring us all together from all these different generations. And yeah, you could argue, oh, we surely should do Mario Kart. No, no, she can't. Right? It's got to be as simple as you get it. So something like Switch Sports can really, yeah, I'm hoping they don't overcomplicate it. I
Yeah.
hope they stick to what they know and what they did well, and bring it to a new generation. And
Yeah.
if they do that, I'm certainly going to be a purchaser, and I think it'd be a great, great game, for all ages, for all walks of life.
Yeah.
I do agree, though. I can't understand why you'd drop boxing,
Mhm.
especially given boxing, it's always a big sport, let's be honest, but at the moment it's had a lot of sort of news and a lot of press and all of that, with all the celebrity sort of boxing matchups, and
Yeah.
obviously our own Tyson Fury heavyweight champion, or things like that. It does seem a strange mission, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm looking at I've looked at the sports what are on there, um, and other than one of them, they all seem pretty decent. Yeah, you've got golf. Yeah, speaks for itself. Football's an interesting one.
Do you know? Well, I don't know if you do know, but basically with the football, if you buy the physical version, which I've pre-ordered, of the game, it comes with a leg strap, because there's a mode within football where basically you get, you can take. So basically, a ball gets crossed into the what do you call it? Oh my god, what is it called? The goal area, the goal box, whatever it's called.
Yeah, you get crossed into the box, and then you have to volley it into the goal.
Yeah, with the leg strap, obviously, because you put the controller on it. So that's
Didn't
quite
know that. That's pretty
interesting.
cool. That is
Yeah.
cool. I like it. Badminton, yeah. Although tell me they haven't got badminton and tennis, because that would seem a bit of a
Yes,
waste.
they have. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that seems a bit of a waste, because they're both racket sports. Yes, one's faster, but the motion, I assume, is going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Bowling, it's good to see bowling still there. That was great.
Oh,
Um,
also the bowling, Andy. They're doing like the online for it. They're doing almost like what is it? A bit like a battle royale bowling thing, in sense of that you all bowl at the same time, and obviously, the highest scorer wins, sort of thing, throughout. But anyway, the way that they're doing it, I looked a couple of weeks ago. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Being a, and because each of you will have like your own lane, so you're not having to wait to take your turn, sort of thing. If that makes sense.
It does, and it certainly does look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping they execute it well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But again, it's Nintendo, isn't it? And it's their own IP.
Yeah, and
I've never known Nintendo to really butcher anything that bad. So
yeah, that's it. And I think they're slowly starting to get with the times with, especially games on the Switch now, offering some DLC, download content. So maybe, I'm hoping we might see boxing added, maybe as a free update, or a slight, a few pound extra DLC maybe, because again, I can see that being a lot of fun cooperatively, locally cooperatively, and also online. If you imagine, you have a leaderboard, online leaderboard, it just adds that extra element, doesn't it, to the game.
And I think if it does have the player base, they'd be foolish to not add sort of downloadable content. It keeps it fresh. It keeps players coming back. Again, how the online, is it going to be behind the paywall, or is it going to be free to play front of the paywall? That would be interesting. If it is behind the paywall, is it, are people going to tolerate for example, it's the communication is one of one of the sour points, isn't it, with the Switch?
Yeah.
Because you have to use like the app and things like that. But it'd be interesting how they approach that. But to be fair, it'd be fun to sort of play with yourself. But I'm more interested in that couch co-op. It really brings the family together. It's like an interactive, not a board game, but games usually someone sits, watches someone else play. Couch co-op seems to be a thing of the past. Yes, it still works, but getting the whole family together like the sports games do is quite a rare thing.
Yeah, definitely. I like how you just casually pied me off there, Andy. Yeah, playing with you's alright, but I'm more interested in playing with my family. Thanks.
Playing with you's fine, but you are one out of like a million of the users. I'm not fussed about doing a battle royale bowling with randomers. I'd love to have a game with yourself, or like you and G versus me and Noah. Father and son fight to the death. That'd be cool. But that's the thing. Would I be signing up to Nintendo's online service for that one sole reason? Probably not. However, if it wasn't behind the paywall, I'd be more inclined to use the online service.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I have signed up to the Nintendo online service before.
Yeah.
And I literally did nothing with it.
Yeah.
All I did with it was actually access the retro back catalogue, like the NES and the SNES.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't do any online gaming.
No.
The only online gaming that I think has ever been done on our Switch is Fortnite, which is again not behind the paywall.
Yeah. No. Well, that's it. I think hopefully they'll get with the times, and things will be better. Their online sort of side of things will be better. But moving on from that, I just before we do our trash or stash segment, I'm going to go back to simulators here, Andy, because for the life of me, I can't remember if I sent you guys in our WhatsApp group the video of this or not. But I want to say I did. But anyway, Power Wash Simulator. Does that ring a bell?
It does ring a bell. I think you might have done.
Yeah. Now, I think it's only available on PC at the moment, but literally... I'm looking at an image at the moment where there's a helicopter and it's absolutely filthy, and you basically clean it with a power wash.
I tell you, power pressure washer it gives such a satisfaction.
Yes.
Yeah. So if they can get that satisfaction across the game, it'll feel good.
Well, this is the thing, it sounds like you say to somebody, gamer or not, there's this game, about pressure washing. It's pressure washer simulator. Initially, you think, what the heck are they talking about? But like you said, if you do that in real life, you pressure wash, there's no better satisfaction than seeing some slabs or bricks getting nice and looking new, after it's had a good pressure wash. But I think I'm going to have to, at some point, test this game out, because I might even have to do a whole episode on it. You never know. But
Tony will like that one. He likes a simulator.
yeah, exactly. I'll have to get him round to give it a go. But no, like I said, this episode 49, I just wanted to touch on some things that we've spoken about over the last year, and hopefully we'll have many more years at Luigi's Gaming Lounge to come. But with that being said, we're going to move on to Trash or Stash. Andy, have you got your stash ready for me?
You want my stash?
Stash first, please.
So, put on the spot a bit. Haven't really thought about it this week, so I'm not going to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
My stash is Zombies Ate My Neighbours.
Okay.
You can argue whether it's on the Super Nintendo or the Mega Drive. I had it on the Mega Drive. I still have it on the Mega Drive. Physical cartridge.
Hang on a moment. Have you done this one already?
Have I? I thought I did Toe Jam and Earl.
I could have sworn. Well, whatever. I'll let you go. Carry on.
No. I will do another.
No, because it's fine, because I could be wrong. Andy. So
no, I'm not going to do it just in case. So I am going to think quickly. I am going to go. Oh, you put me on the spot.
I know we've spoken about Zombies Ain't My Neighbours, and I just can't remember if it was done in the Trash or Stash segment. But whilst you have a little think, I've got my stash.
Okay, you go.
Yeah, I've got my stash ready. It's a game that I've been playing. I think I started playing it almost 2 weeks ago, and that is UFC 4. Now, the reason UFC 4 is in my stash is the first UFC game I played. It was a long time ago, back on the Sega Dreamcast, I believe. And it was literally just called UFC, I think, or something along those lines. Anyway, then I never played another game like it until UFC 2009 came out, and I had that on the PlayStation 3, and it was absolutely fantastic. It wasn't too overcomplicated, all the grapple mechanics and whatnot. But then after that, I can't remember which one I tried next. It was a good few years later. And I just remember the mechanics for like doing all the grappling. It just seemed so overcomplicated, and it put me off ever trying another UFC game until I decided to install UFC 4. And the reason for that is my nephew. I went round to he's got a PlayStation 5, and he was playing it, and it actually looked really good. And I was watching, what he had to do, and it just looked really good. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to install it. I'm going to give it a go. If it's too complicated, I'll just stop playing. And I've found it's one of those games now where, I'm like, I've got 10 minutes. I can get my guy to do like a bit of training ready for the next fight, or So it's a really, really, really good game. So yeah, UFC 4 is in my stash.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah,
I absolutely love mixed martial arts. I'm a martial artist myself, as you know.
Yeah.
I started playing sort of mixed martial arts games back on the 360, and it was just called EA MMA. And it was Baz Rutten, who's sort of an age-old, iconic former mixed martial artist. And it was great. So it was actually the best MMA game at the time, but very, very under the radar. Not many people sort of played or knew about it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And like yourself, I picked up one of the more modern day UFCs, and it was so overcomplicated.
Yeah.
Especially so given my mind can actually process the grappling and some of the techniques from real life. And it's like, I could do this quicker in real life than it's trying to take me pressing a button.
Yeah.
This it's doubly infuriating. But you saying that they've actually simplified it and made it a bit more, not simplified, but made it more user accessible,
Yes.
I'm actually going to download that
I
because I love it. But like you, I hated the complex nature of it because I don't mind a bit of sort of work and a bit of skill to it, but it took all the fun out of it. And like I say, when I can process something in real life quicker than pressing a button on a game, that's really infuriating. Um,
yes.
but you've made me look forward to it, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna
No,
I'm gonna
it's
download it.
I've really enjoyed playing it. Like I've been playing the career mode, and yeah, it's just great. You know, you create your own character, and you know, obviously with these sort of games, you know, you start right at the bottom and you work your way up, and it's great because it's also you've got in there obviously your training. You can decide how many weeks of training you want to do, up to I think 4 or 5 weeks of training prior to the fight. Um, you you know you even have to set yourself a social media handle, um, and because within the story mode, obviously like this day and age, you have trolls and stuff like that, and you can post to social media. You don't actually have to write anything. It's part of, like, you know, the week that you have so many days, etc., and you can post to social media, and you know, if you win a fight, if you lose a fight, etc., you get people posting, and you see the replies. Some are trolls, some are like supporters. It just adds to the whole element of you feeling like, you know, you're coming up in the UFC basically. It's really, yeah, it's really cool, really cool. So yeah, a lot more simplified than the last one I attempted to play. But you know, some people do like those tricky sort of controls, so they have added the option. You know, you can stick with just the normal controls, or you can have it as hard as you want to, really, as complex, shall I say, as you want to. So yeah, yeah. But have you got your stash ready for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna do a bit of a Barney, sort of have him here with us in spirit. I'm gonna, again, because I've been put on the spot, I'm gonna find a trend and a pattern. So obviously, you guys chatted about the new Lego Star Wars game last episode,
Mm-hmm.
which I unfortunately couldn't miss. Sorry, I unfortunately missed. I'm a huge Lego fan in real life, as I am a huge fan of the Lego games itself. Often play them through to completion. I've sort of platinumed or 100%ed more Lego games than I care to remember. And a lot of them are actually done through couch co-op with my wife. It's
Yeah.
one of the few games that she'll try a hand at games, but she genuinely gets sunken into the Lego games.
Mm.
Um, so my stash is going to be Lego Marvel superheroes. So
Okay.
the Lego obviously releases loads of different games from all different franchises and IPs.
Mm-hmm.
It was their very first Marvel one, Marvel superheroes. Um, it was when I first played that, it was outstanding. You know, you had the whole of the city, you had a helicarrier, you had access to all of these characters from the entire Marvel universe. It was such an open world feel, yet with so much story to do. It had such replayability, and even to this day, my son still logs on to sort of my 100% save file to just play it and sort of smash around in the city.
Yeah.
Um, Up until that point, been some great games, enjoyed lots. That was the first Lego game that I can remember thinking, wow, we've really hit this out of the park. And back then it was like, even if you weren't a fan of Lego, you'd enjoy this game. You know,
Yeah.
up until that point, you probably have to be a Lego fan to sort of appreciate it. Whereas the first Lego Marvel Superheroes, don't get me wrong, I also had Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, just as good, but it wasn't as fresh. I like the originality of the first one.
Yeah.
You had Lego Avengers, again, I wasn't as much of a fan as Lego Marvel Superheroes. So the very first Lego Marvel Superheroes for me is a stash. If someone's going to pick up a Lego game, with exception of the new one, although that being said, the new one plays completely different than most other Lego games, if not all other Lego games. So a traditional Lego game all generations prior to this most recent release, Lego Marvel Superheroes. You can't really go wrong on that one.
Oh, fair enough. Thank you very much for your stash. Yeah, I agree. I agree what you've said there. My lad G, he, as you know, he loves Lego games as well, and he still to this day plays that exact game. He absolutely loves it, and yeah, so I think it's a very worthy stash game. But all right, moving on. So trash. I will give you my trash. Now, I will say again, my son G. This is the reason I know about this game. Now, he has been enjoying trying out games from around like the PlayStation 2 original Xbox era, and one of the games he really enjoys is Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. And admittedly, it is a good game. You know, it really is a good game. So, following that Star Wars theme, he wanted to see what other Star Wars games he could play from that era, and we tried out Star Wars Bounty Hunter. That needs to go in the bin. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Even he agrees the same. You know, we tried it out, we played it, and there was just no love for it. I mean, I don't know how it's. Let me just check on online. I mean, it's got good. It's 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. It says 95% of Google users liked that game. So, but you know, it's just trash. Don't play it, please. And I think it's even. I think it's I think you can even
Don't hold back, Luigi.
Yeah. No, I mean, now I'll be honest with you. I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan. Okay, I watch it because my son enjoys it. But the games, however, I can't remember which one it was. The first Star Wars game I played on PlayStation 1, and it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Now, bear in mind, I had no interest at that time in the film. However, the game was awesome. But no, this Bounty Hunter one, no, sorry, but it's a load of poo-poo. So, yeah, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, you're going in the trash. So, Andy, do you have a trash for me?
Yeah, so like I say, my trash is going to follow a trend. It's also going to be another Lego game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite a sad claim, but I'm pretty sure I have played, if not own, every sort of. I know Lego have been releasing games for good decade or so, so I'm not including like the Rock Raider games and things on the PlayStation,
Mm-hmm.
but all of the traditional sort of Lego platformy games with the IPs attached to it. So whether it's Harry Potter or Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Pirates of the Caribbean or Indiana Jones, all of those,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I own them all. Um, that being said, there's one that for whatever reason I hate, and so does my wife. So it actually sort of cements my opinion. It's not just me not feeling
Mm.
it.
Yeah.
About the same, and considering it's a journey we sort of took together, it backs up your opinion.
Yeah.
So the Batman franchise, obviously, is a massive franchise.
Yep.
Lego Batman, the first game, again, completed at 100%, really enjoyable game. Batman 2, amazing game. They took what they did in Batman, they added a full sort of loads of voice actors, a full sort of voice cast to it. Amazing game, 100% completed it. Lego Batman 3 was shit. Now, is it as bad as I'm making out? Probably not. I dare say some people out there enjoy it. But
One of them being my son.
yeah, but the third Batman game is not, it's nowhere near the quality of the rest of the Lego game catalogue. It's really not.
They got a bit slap happy with that one, do you think?
I don't know. I it just the story didn't grab me or my wife. Um, it, the play style's the same.
Yeah.
The level design, all of that, it plays the same. But for whatever the reason, it just didn't work.
Right.
Um, there's certain Lego games. The Lego Jurassic World, amazing, really, really great game. The Lego Marvel Superheroes, great game. Even the older ones like the Indiana Jones, great game. The original Star Wars, great game. The Harry Potters, again, I didn't necessarily enjoy it that much because I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but they were great games.
Mm.
It's just this Lego Batman 3, it just didn't work for me, and it didn't work for my wife either. Um, I can't tell you why, because again, it's a Lego game. The graphics were the same, the play style was the same, etc., etc. Can't tell you why, but it just didn't seem to work. It didn't connect to me. It didn't resonate with me. It was just meh. And it is
Yeah.
one of those games that to this day it's sitting on like 20% completion. I have no desire to go back to it. Ordinarily,
20%. Wow.
yeah, yeah. Ordinarily, the Lego games, I play it, I complete it, I smash it, I platinum it, it's done. That it was a chore even to get to that stage. And again, the wife felt the same. So again, it's got to be the storyline. It's got to be, did they make it a bit too far fetched? I don't know, but it just didn't work for us. Um, so to just confirm, I'm not this Lego fanboy. Lego do good things, but they also do shit things. But it's not going to be to everyone's opinion. I'm sure there's some Batman fans out there who love that,
Yeah.
i.e., your son, if you mentioned that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for me, number three Batman is a trash.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, we can't all like the same things, and you're quite a well versed Lego game person or player, should I say? So I trust your opinion on that. So yeah, that's going in the trash for Andy.
Has G played Lego Batman 2?
Yeah, he's played he's played through the first one. He's played through the second one, and then uh, he played the third one through. I think it was the Nvidia Shield on the GeForce Now. So he played a bit of it, but then he said he really, oh, Dad, I've played all through the first one and the second one. I really would like it for me Xbox, and me being a softie, I found it for a good price and I let him have it. I think at the time, I think I got it for about £6 digitally, which I don't think it's a bad price to keep your child happy. Yeah, and he likes it. He's not expressed to me that oh, it's not as good as the others, and he does usually, he very much gives my opinion. He was on I think it was the last episode. Yes, the last episode. So any listeners that heard the last episode will know he very much, thoroughly enjoys his games and knows his stuff. So
How's he
yeah,
finding the new Lego Star Wars? Because it
he's
does play differently to all the others.
oh yeah, he completed it within 3 days, but not 100%ed in terms of
But it completed the stories.
he completed the stories,
Yeah.
and yeah, he still
I was
is
going to
that
say that this new game is gigantic.
it
To get
is
100% on it is going to take some doing. Like
yeah
usually you can commit X amount of hours, like a fair amount of hours to a Lego game, but you can platinum it, you can 100% it.
yeah
This game, I'm not into it in depth yet, but from the surface, it's going to take a a real solid gamer to get 100% out of that, and with a lot of hours.
yeah. Have you purchased it as of yet, or are you waiting?
No, no, yeah, we have it. I did wait for the initial reviews, but I'm on a few sort of Lego forums and groups, and some people got like review copies, and I had it pre-ordered, so I did get it delivered. But ironically, I played it for the first time today with the missus.
And what did you think?
Um,
Initial.
my initial thing, I like because usually the camera angle of the camera railing or however panning, is that the word? Camera panning,
Yeah.
of the Lego games when you're in co-op, it sort of naturally follows you, so you don't
Mm.
control the camera. Whereas this one you do. I like that because it plays actually like a third person game.
Yeah.
However, my wife hates it. So bear in mind,
Ah.
like, I'm a gamer, Steph's
Yeah.
not. So Steph liked the fact that she didn't have to consciously worry about the adjustment of the camera. It
Yeah.
was done for her. That
Yeah.
used to bug the shit out of me because I
Yeah.
used to want to do certain angles like fuck's sake. Whereas now I love it, whereas Steph hates it. So I
Yeah.
can see how it's not going to appeal to everyone. That being said, it looks stunning
It does,
on
doesn't it?
it looks like you got a brick on your TV
It-
and a highly polished brick at that. It looks stunning. It plays fluid. The game looks gigantic. It's obviously got all of the entire, again, a bit like yourself. I'm not a huge Star Wars fanboy. I think it's a great, universe. It's a great world, but I'm not like a Star Wars nerd by any means.
yeah.
But it's cool that you have the entire journey from episode 1 to 9 in one
Yes.
package. It's already got the trademark Lego game humor in it. Um, and from my point of view, from what I can see, the replayability and the depth of these levels and game, it is gigantic. So you have got a lot of reason to go back in it and play it and replay and problem solve, puzzle solve, things like that. So, albeit only played it for a short while, I'm really impressed. The missus liked it, but she's a bit pissed off because they changed some things. But
So
she's not a gamer.
yeah. Well,
To me, they've improved it.
yeah, definitely. I much prefer the way it handles, and I mean, as you said, and I've already said, it is just such a pretty game. You know, it's so and you used the right word there. Such a polished. You know, visually, it is so polished. Don't get me wrong. You know,
Feels like you
previous.
need to wear sunglasses because, like, the light bounce off the polished old Lego head.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The previous Lego games, you know, plenty of them look absolutely brilliant. You know, but I
It's
think,
one of those things. I didn't think I was going to notice a difference because
yeah,
when you think of all the power and you running on the PS5 or the Series X or whatnot, it's like, really, how are you going to do anything with it? It's an animated Lego game.
yeah,
It's not like you're pushing the boundaries like on Forza 5 or something.
yeah,
And then when you boot it up for the first time, it's like, oh damn, they
yeah,
made this look pretty. So
yeah,
it's like when you think they can't make this kid's animated game look any better, because like you say, it always looks fine.
yeah.
It looks as if someone's throwing a brick at your screen and it's looking back at you.
Yeah, it is. To be fair, it is really awesome. And again, I'm not a massive Lego game fan. I'm not. I don't know. I think it's not. It's just not something that I overly enjoy. However, like I said, with this one, and it's not just. You know, it isn't just the graphics, but like you said, Andy, you know, being able to play through, 1 to 9, you know, the sheer size of it. Obviously, the visuals of it, you know, is a brilliant bonus because it's easy on the eye. So yeah, just for me, that's a fantastic game. But it'd be interesting. It will be very interesting to see because obviously 2K have got the contract now with Lego. So there's going to be a load of sports games coming out. First one, which we touched on in a previous episode. First one being a football game, soccer game, which is going to coincide with the World Cup. So it's going to be interesting to see the visuals of that as well. I think now that we've seen the visuals of the Star Wars game, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they bring, and I think
I think I touched on before. It's great. I like, the Lego brand itself is a strong brand. They shouldn't let any harm be done to it.
yeah,
But TT Games, they're a solid developer.
yeah,
They're a trustworthy developer. 2K, yeah, they can be and they can't be.
mm,
They can rinse and repeat like their sports titles,
yeah,
but then they can do solid games as well. I think they do Borderlands, don't they, and games like that.
yeah, yeah.
So
So I mean, yeah,
hit or miss. I think because it's an important licensing agreement to them
yeah,
that they will give it their all. But I'm hoping that Lego keep their playability. Lego games are accessible. Anyone can really pick up and play a Lego game. It looks pretty. It plays pretty. As long as they keep that, then it should work. If they start messing with something, trying to fix something that's not broken, they might come up against a bit of a wall with the players, I think.
yeah. No, I agree. Definitely agree. And for any listeners out there, if you would like to contact us here and let us know if we're right or wrong in your opinion in regards to our trash or stash or any other subject that we've been discussing on this episode or previous episodes, you can contact us at Luigi's Gaming Lounge at gmail.com. That's Luigi's Gaming Lounge at gmail.com. Get in touch, guys. Let us know what you think. This episode 49, it's just really been sort of a general chat about the last year and looking at some of those predictions. Battlefield. But no. So for the guys listening, thank you so much. Guys and girls listening, thank you so much. We really appreciate the support. And Andy, thank you very much for being here with me this evening recording. Much appreciated. And that's episode 49, guys. And we will see you in episode 50. Take care. Bye.